Hi everyone, this is Mariah with The Journey of Beauty. So, one of the things that I have personally been exploring a lot lately is my own personal sexuality. And this has been something that I've kind of been hesitant to talk about, especially on YouTube videos. Mostly I've been concerned with how much of me and my sexuality do I really want to put out there, especially as a professional. And then I realized if there's anything that I'm holding, if there's anything that I'm uncomfortable talking about, then that's going to translate onto my clients. And I don't want to put that energy out there. And so I really wanted to own this. And partially one of the things that I've struggled with for a long time is this dichotomy that I feel like a lot of women have of the virgin and the whore, right? And so a lot of women, we are either this beautiful virgin, clean, untouched, perfect, pure being, or we get the slut and whore and oh, she's so dirty, or that's nasty. But where is this line of sacred femininity? Where's this line, this place of sacred sexuality? And so one of the things that I've really been committing myself to is how do I explore my sexuality in a very beautiful, sacred way. And that's not to say that life doesn't get dirty and life doesn't get messy, but how do I explore this in a way that feels really good for me? And so one of the ways that I have chosen to do that lately is, actually I just bought, and it just arrived today, my very first jade egg. So I got actually a number of them, but one of the pieces of advice that I was given was that your first jade egg or crystal Yoni egg, whatever term you'd like to use, should be of Nefertite jade. Should be a medium size, so we're talking 30 by 48 millimeters, and it should be drilled to have a string. And so that's what I got. You can see that it has the string. The ones with a hole for the string can be used with or without one. I also bought a set of 3 of black obsidian and a set of 3 of rose quartz. I did not get 3 of the Nefertite jade because they are much more expensive, and so while I'm kind of figuring everything out, I figured economics was an important thing for me, and then if I really like the Nefertite jade more than the other ones and I want it in another size, I can always buy more. So one of the things that we talk about with Yoni eggs is size, right? So what size do you want? So they come in 3 sizes. Small is about 35 by 50 millimeters. Medium is 30 by 43 millimeters. Oh, sorry. Large is 35 by 50 millimeters. Medium is 30 by 43 millimeters. And small is 25 by 33 millimeters. And so it's a little counterintuitive. Starting with the largest one and then working that way down to your smallest is going to be the best. Most women, unless they're postmenopausal or right after childbirth, will actually be very comfortable with a medium size. And if you have a very tight pelvic muscle, a small one might be very good for you, but that would be something that you might want to check with a professional before using. So do keep in mind I'm not a doctor, and so I'm just sharing with you what I've learned and something new that I'm going to be trying out and giving some of my personal experiences with, but obviously always checking with your doctor is a good idea. And so what crystal? So the use of Yoni eggs comes from Taoist teachings, and so we have the Nefertite jade, like what I showed you, which is going to typically be the very first crystal that a woman would use when starting working with Yoni eggs. It's really good at healing, and then we go with the black obsidian, which helps with the shadow work, and finally going to the rose quartz, which really helps open the heart. As far as size goes, if you start with a medium and feels too small after a month or so, go ahead and go up to large and then come back down. And if at any time the mediums feels too big, go down to a small. You certainly can do 2 smalls at a time if that's going to be comfortable for you. And don't worry about it getting lost. The ones with the strings make it easy to pull out, but just like a menstrual cup or anything. You can always reach in and pull it out if you need. But they can also stay in for 24 hours or so at a time. Unlike tampons or menstrual cups, as long as you keep them clean, they don't have the same risk of toxic shock syndrome. And you can even actually have sex with a jade egg in. And so why do we start with Nefertite jade? Well, first of all, it's really high on the Mohs scale, so that way it's less likely to break if you have it drop out or something. You could also wear panties, so if it does drop out, it does catch into something. It's got high thermal conductivity, so it doesn't take as much effort for the body to heat it up. It's healing for the physical body, especially for the female reproductive system. And while the energy is really gentle and protective, it's also very shielding for women from outside energies. And it's just nourishing, grounding, energizing, and it can be worn for long periods of time. So do keep in mind that Nefertite jade and jadeite, which are both sold as jade, are two different crystals. They're different minerals. They have different elements in them. So keep that in mind, that the Nefertite jade is the one that we want. It communicates with the heart chakra. It helps connect our heart to our passion, to our desire. So it's this heart, fourth chakra, desire, second chakra connection. And the second chakra is where our reproductive organs are. It's where our drive, our passion, our desire. And so it really helps that connection between what is it that we desire and how do we share that love. How do we take that desire into this place of love and share it out with the rest of the world? It's also really good for balancing the water elements. So as human bodies are 70% water, it's really good for the entire body, as well as the kidneys and the reproductive organs. It's also, like I said, grounding, calming, really helps with self-love. So the second crystal that a lot of women will move to next is black obsidian. So black obsidian is the root chakra. The root chakra is our place of grounding, of connection, of feeling secure and safe. It's home. It's our connection to Pachamama, to Mother Earth. Obsidian is a protective stone and an ally for releasing trauma and emotions stored in the body, especially in the pelvis. And it also transmutes negative energy and helps treat female physical body ailments. And so a lot of women have a lot of trauma, particularly in our sexual reproductive organs, whether that's because you've had an experience with sexual assault or an unhealthy relationship dynamic. There's also a lot of shame around female sexuality. And so how do we work with this energetically to release some of that shame? Whether that shame is you've had many sexual partners. Maybe the shame is that you love having sex. Maybe the shame is that you don't know what you're doing having sex, and you feel ashamed that maybe you're not performing well for your partner. Maybe the shame is that you thought you'd be a virgin when you got married because that's what you were taught growing up, and maybe you're not. So there's a lot of shame in female sexuality. Either you're having too much sex or not enough sex. You're too good at it, which means, well, you've had way too much experience and you enjoy it too much, or you're terrible at it. Well, if you enjoy it too much, maybe there's the idea, the shame of, oh, well, I shouldn't enjoy sex, that makes me dirty, this, and all these different things. And it's like, well, but you're enjoying your body, right? Or maybe there's the shame in, well, I really don't love this. And so where is that shame? There's a lot of sexual healing that we have to do as women. I'm sure men have a lot of sexual healing to do as well. And personally, I can't speak to that. I can only speak to the experiences that I have known of myself and of other female friends. And then finally, the last jade egg in the process is quartz, rose quartz. Rose quartz is the heart, it's love. It dissolves barriers that we have and blockages about giving and receiving the energy of love, just absolute love, and there's lots of different types of sex, and I'm not here to judge any of them. There's certain types that are hedonistic and euphoric. For me, sex is about love and vulnerability and connection to my partner and to spirit, right? And so this is really this, for me, I personally cannot have sex with someone that I don't love. That's something that's not comfortable for me. And I know other people have different opinions, and that's okay. But for me, it's like this is one of the most beautiful, ultimate expressions of love that I have with another being. And so the rose quartz helps bring that love through the yoni. And now the other question to ask about jade eggs, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, is do you want a drilled egg or an undrilled egg? So a drilled egg is like the one that I got. I've been playing with it, the string fell out, but there's a hole for a string. And it can be used with or without the string. So the string is a safety mechanism that allows you to pull it out. But there's the hole. And so because there are, juices inside of the yoni, it does need to be cleaned out. So that's, a hygiene thing to consider. But the string is a safety mechanism. Why do you feel like you need that? Do you feel that you need that? So this is really an intuitive question to ask. You can go either way. The advice that I was given was, for your first jade egg, get one that's drilled just to give you that safety. But, where is the confidence within this of, can you have your Kegel muscles strong enough to take that jade egg and pull it up and pull it down and play around with it and be able to eventually push it out of your body on your own accord. And so, I've been told a couple weeks of practice is all that it's going to take to be able to push it out without needing a string. But play around with that. And then also ask yourself the question, everything is a mirror, everything is a pattern. So just like whatever you're experiencing with your yoni egg, how are you experiencing this elsewhere in your life? So if you're afraid that it's going to get caught, where are you afraid that you're going to get caught? Where are you afraid that things aren't going to come true for you? And so it's going to be a really good reflection. And so I'm really excited. I got my very first yoni egg today. And so, and the last question people will often ask is, which direction does it go? And so it goes like this. So you can see if you do get a drilled egg, I can show you the holes. Like that. The hole goes down, so it's tapered down. And then the bulbous part goes up inside of you. And like I said, you can wear it for up to 24 hours or so at a time, as long as you'd like, and then practice some Kegel exercises with it. If you do have a particularly tight pelvic floor, those tightening and strengthening exercises are not really likely what you're wanting to look for. You might want to be looking for more relaxing and loosening exercises. So, talk to your doctor or talk to your midwife or your doula or whoever it is that may be helping you with your female reproductive health, to see what advice they have as far as if you're looking to tighten and tone or if you're looking to release the pelvic floor. And then, use those exercises, but also use your intuition. See what it feels like, see what feels good, and play around with it. And I'm really looking forward to my adventure with my first yoni egg and then my other yoni eggs when they eventually show up here in the next week. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and if I can help you at all, feel free to ask questions. Otherwise, I put my website below. Be happy to have you check out my blog, check out my coaching services, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. So have a great day. I will be posting more updates on my yoni egg experiences as I get them. Have a great day. Bye-bye.